All right, so I wanna rank all of the Planet of the Apes movies. Brief history of my history with the franchise. I love Rod Serling. I think he's one of the greatest minds the universe has ever known as far as like a creative, the medium of sci-fi. He's like the guy who adapted the book of Planet of the Apes, which I didn't even know it was a fucking book when I first watched it, because when I watched it, I was a fucking kid. Of course, I didn't care about none of the talk, so it was all about the ending. The ending fucking stayed with me forever, and it still does. And now that I'm older and I've seen the Twilight Zone, I can appreciate every little political topic it's talking about. I've never watched any of the shitty sequels after that, because I grew up in the 90s and knew they were shitty just off rip. It's just known. And I went to the fucking theater to see the Tim Burton version. And at the age of 10 and 11 years old, even I knew that fucking ending was stupid. And then I saw Rise also in theater. And that was it. So I spent this weekend watching all of it leading up to Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, well, all the new ones, and then I watched Planet of the Apes after I watched Kingdom, and then watched all the shitty sequels. So now I'm gonna rank them all. All right, now obviously, right? If this wasn't S, if that wasn't S, you had the immediate like allowance of me to just click off and do something else. Easily S, right? Then we get to Beneath the Planet of the Apes with my nigga Dr. Zaius. Dr. Zaius, Dr. Zaius. Dr. Zaius, Dr. Zaius. So this is Dr. Zaius. That's why I had to do that. I'm mad at this nigga Dr. Zaius. So Beneath of the Planet of the Apes, here's what happens in this movie, all right? I'm gonna explain all these shits. So I don't have to explain Planet of the Apes. They see the Statue of Liberty at the end. This nigga is like, oh shit, we blew up the Earth, right? Beneath takes place right after that. Him in Nova, the lady that he's with, the cave woman, they on horseback, and these niggas run into the plains into a fucking out of nowhere green screen of fire, and then this disappears. The guy disappears, right? And then the movie starts up with another astronaut who was sent there to save these niggas, because that makes sense. And he lands on the planet too, and it's basically the first movie. He finds Nova. She's wearing this nigga Taylor's name tags. She takes him back to the planet of the fucking apes, the colony, whatever, and we see that these guys are getting ready to invade that fucking fiery green screen that your man disappeared into. So in a roundabout way, he meets the apes that let go of Taylor and the girl in the first place, and they let them escape, and then they get to that fiery thing and go through the green screen and find like more of a devastated Manhattan. There's a fucking fucked up Radio City Music Hall and rubble and all these like New York iconographies. And then you find out humans are still alive, they talk telepathically, and they live underground, and that they worship the fucking nuclear head that didn't blow up yet, that has the power to destroy the Earth. It's like fucking Megaton, except there's a religion surrounding the fucking nuclear device. And then during one of the ceremonies or church like sessions where they're like praising the nuclear thing, these motherfuckers take their skins off, and you realize that these motherfuckers look like ghouls again from Fallout. And in the end of it all, they find Taylor. Charlton Heston didn't want to come back. That's why he's in it so little. The apes show up to the Earth place. They all fight each other, including yes, this is crazy, including the two main characters. They die in the scuffle because Charlton Heston didn't want to come back to this. To the point where he had to guarantee his character got killed. He only showed up for a little while, and that his entire salary went to fucking charity. That's how much he didn't want to have any part of this. Both characters die, and they land on the detonation button and destroy the fucking planet. The end. Okay, that's it. It's a real roundabout movie. You don't like it, but that ending is very ballsy, so it elevates it from a C to a B for me. Like, I probably wouldn't watch it again unless I was like super baked or watching it through all the other sagas because I was introducing it to somebody. I wouldn't go back to that one. So Beneath the Escape from the Planet of the Apes. Basically, I'm going to try and do this a little bit faster. Can you even see it? Is Escape the Planet of the Apes, right? The ones that helped Taylor escape, they go back in time in his ship, and they are saved, and they come to the human worlds, and they're paraded around and shit like that. It's a comedy, basically. It's weird. It's a weird tonal shift, and they have a kid in this world, but humans be human, and they're two-faced and shit like that, and they don't trust them, and so they get the female ape liquored up and make her tell her what what future she comes from and how humans are subjugated, and so they kill them. They kill these niggas, man. And some real fucked up, like, last 5 minutes of the movie shit. It gets real tragic. And they kill the baby. A baby chimp, nigga. They shoot a baby chimp nestled up. It looks like a real baby chimp gets shot, bro. I don't like it. But what happens is they before they got shot, they switched the babies at the zoo that they were hiding at. The zookeeper is played by Christopher Montalban from Star Trek Wrath of Khan. Just rank the Burton one real quick. Just put it as an F. Yeah, we should. Is it here? Yes, it is. We changed this from a D to straight F. Okay, good. But that's basically how it ends. And so the ape that can talk gets to live on. I put this at a C. I do not like this one. Some people like it, some people don't. I am in the camp of do not like it, right? Now, before we even get to the remake, let's just put it in F. Everything that I said about it, I said in the beginning. It's fucking ridiculous. It's campy. It was the next Planet of the Apes after the shitty sequels in the original, which is what this is remaking, so like it had to live up to high standards. Tim Burton, I was watching Double Toasted, and this line about Tim Burton movies is how I will always describe Tim Burton from now on, because I heard it. Tim Burton is always at the circus. I've never heard a better summation of Tim Burton and his works. Tim Burton is always at the circus, and even in situations where he shouldn't be. And that's my review of the reboot. So let's get back to Conquest. Let's go to Conquest. Conquest, he reprises his role because the monkey, he raised the monkey, and you know, the monkey that can talk. And now it's a future where monkeys are kept as pets, because part of the prophecy that the apes brought in a previous movie, they said that cats and dogs would die of a fucking space disease, and now it's happened. And so now monkeys are pets, and if they're not pets, they're put in concentration camps. It's like this big old allegory of like 1960s revolution. There's a scene where like there's a black guy who works in the jail, and it's like, how could you enslave me after what your people have gone through? And I'm like, fucking heavy-handed, on the nose ass 70s movie. But you know, this is another movie where it's like you stick with it because of the ending, and fuck this ending, bro. It's one of the best speeches I've ever seen in any of these movies. In movies, it's one of my favorite speeches. And that fucking look, that's a scary ass look. So I'm gonna rank it because of that an A. No B, but like here B. You know what? I want to put it at A. I'll put it at A. Fuck it. Battle F. No substance whatsoever. Now we get to the remakes with James Franco. Nobody knows what his character's name is. We just call that nigga James Franco. No, the makeup, I'm telling you, the makeup in the Planet of the Apes movies are not bad at all. In the latest sequels, they get bad if it's not an important ape. Like if you look in the background, you can see some niggas wearing a mask or like half the suit and shit like that. But like that shit looks great. Even though they all got James Brown haircuts, some shits is all laid and like come up on the ends type shit. So Rise, let's get back to the screen. Rise, the one with James Franco. The one with, now we're in the Andy Serkis side of the game with a monkey named Caesar, who's leading a revolution. I rewatched this. I like it. It's like Patrice talked about this one too. How you gonna tell me I'm free and that I could go after I fought for this, motherfucker? I could have just snapped your neck, motherfucker. I like this one. I think it's an A easily, and I put it top of A easily. And then you get to Dawn. Dawn, man, the hype for Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is real, bro. That shit is great. That shit is great. Holy fuck. And he's been going viral all week, like for the last 2 weeks, because of this new one. Nigga, Koba, the bad guy in this, the bad monkey that's introduced in Rise, because he was being experimented on. He's just as smart as Caesar. S-class villain. S-class. S-class. This movie is fucking S-class, bro. It's the only Planet of the Apes on par with the original, in my humble fucking opinion, bro. Gary Oldman, thank you for fucking saying Gary Oldman, bro. Gary Oldman is in Dawn, and he's the villain, but he's so not a villain. It's crazy. He's the most logical nigga who is in charge of people that you could ask for, and he is just doing what needs to be done. And he is not, there's no malice behind it. There's no like, I'm being racist here. It's like, no, nigga. It's a riot of monkeys. What do you want from me? I'm in charge of lives, bro. I gotta do what I gotta do. He's so great. And he doesn't even show up that much. You wish he showed up more, but what little time you get with him is fucking great. Thank you for mentioning that. Then you get to War, right? Now, War is a good movie. Now, the thing about these movies with Rise, when they made Rise, they didn't know that they were making a trilogy, so it ends in a way where it can pick up directly where the original Planet of the Apes picks up. But because they made a sequel, and by the way, the guy who takes over this series is Matt Reeves of the Batman fame. They made a trilogy out of it, and it works. Let's get to War. War takes place right after, well, not right after, but a few years after the human conflict has extrapolated. At the end of the last one, they were able to make contact with, you know, the military. The military has arrived, so now it's like the military versus the monkeys, and you know, they're fighting them all in their territory, but they're starting to win. And so, you know, they're trying to find a new place to live. So, you know, Caesar goes on an adventure to try and get there, and that's what you think the movie is gonna be, but then it's not. Like, the shit's called War of the Planet of the Apes. You think war is gonna come. You think when they split up, you know, something like, you know, if they're gonna go on some kind of adventure and get there and the war is gonna pop off there. No. These niggas get captured in the middle of their adventure and get by the motherfuckers that they were trying to avoid anyway, Woody Harrelson, who, by the way, killed Caesar's fucking son and wife, and come to find out the rest of their clan is captured too. So it's not a war movie. It's about what war does to people, including Woody Harrelson and including Caesar, because they're just so revenge driven they can't see the bigger picture type shit. And it's a real big character deconstruction instead of like, niggas is going to war. This is the last act in a 8 movie where niggas wield guns and shit and ride horseback. It's not that. So I was kind of taken aback by that. I do like the character study, but it's a hard watch, bro. This shit is sad. This is a sad movie, bro. And because of that, I like Dawn more. I don't hate War, but it's kind of Apocalypse Now. It's more Deer Hunter, if I'm being honest with you. Where Deer Hunter like didn't have a lot of war scenes, but it was really about like the impact of war on these people. It's more like that. So because of that, I will put this shit up to this shit's an A. But I put it in this order of A. You know what I mean? Meaning Rise is at the top, followed by Conquest, and then War. But this is a solid motherfucking trilogy right here. This is a trinity. This is a good ass trinity. And it really is, in this new movie, Apocalypse Now. What was I saying? Oh, so they don't fuck up this trilogy by making this new movie, because the trilogy is effectively like the Caesar saga, because this new movie takes place like 2 centuries later. It's like in the aftermath of everything Caesar's built and how he's like mythified now as like this ape leader. But like there's factions now in the ape community, and some take his lessons, his wisdoms, and use it for their profit, and some see the light, but they've been kind of shunned and extinguished to the point where that this new Caesar, yes, new Caesar, has like co-opted those teachings and made him his own. And what I like about this new Caesar, who is the villain, is his vocabulary. This motherfucker will hit you with them words that he been learning. I like the monkeys. This is one of those movies that's like how you always wish a Godzilla movie would be, where it's the focus is the creatures for like 80% of the movie, and the 20 is the humans playing in the background. That's kind of like this. Like the monkeys are the fucking leads. In the other trilogy with Caesar and shit like that, you have to share the human moments. It becomes more and more about the monkeys as the trilogy goes on. Like they get more and more screen time as opposed to the humans. But Kingdom is where you reach like, these niggas is so in the background, and it's about these fucking creatures that I paid money to see because their name are in the title, and I respect that. And the VFX look fucking amazing at this point. So I'm putting Kingdom, which I just saw recently in IMAX. I'm putting this shit. This is another A for me. And you know what? It's more of an A than War for me. I like them more than War. But that's it. This is my ranking. I think it's perfect, just how it is. These two at S, these fucking four at A. Then you got your B, you got your C, you got your two Fs. The remake and the last of the shitty sequels. This one should not have been made. Conquest is such a great ending and full circle kind of a thing. This is another word that is in the new season's vocabulary. How duplicitous. Yo, this nigga said the way he pulled the word duplicitous out of his like dictionary of words to use was so fucking funny in that movie. But yeah, these movies is just about how similar these apes are to humans once you introduce something called civilization. I understand why the cowboys were trying to avoid it so much. It's the death of the human spirit. It's when all things become it's when all things start to clash, is when civilization is introduced.